The Book Thief by Markus Zusak is the story of Liesel Meminger and growing up with her foster family in Nazi Germany. In the beginning of the novel, Liesel's little brother dies on the train ride over to meet her new foster family. This is the first encounter Liesel has with death, and it is not the only. Death is the narrator of this novel, and death is used to give a humanistic quality to the struggles and disasters of this time period. Death looks at the human condition with anger, sarcasm, and disbelief. Looking at the humanistic quality gives a distraction for death. Why would death need a distraction? Death answers, it's the leftover humans, the survivors. They're the ones I can't stand to look at, although on many occasions I fail. I witness the ones who are left behind, crumbling among the jigsaw puzzle of realization, despair, and survival. Death sees Liesel as another distraction and is interested in her life, and throughout the novel, he recounts all the times he has run into Liesel. When he first sees Liesel, he notices that she steals a book. This is the first book that she steals. An apprentice to the gravedigger burying her brother drops his book on how to grave dig. When Liesel meets her foster family, her foster dad Hans teaches Liesel how to read from this book, and a love for reading soon ignites. Reading for Liesel is an escape from Nazi Germany and the pressures of society to join the Hitler Youth. Throughout the novel, Liesel finds other places to steal from. Liesel steals from not only the mayor's wife's personal library, but from Nazi book burnings as well. This is not the first time Liesel has been exposed to going against what the Nazis want. Hans and Rosa eventually hide a Jewish man named Max. Max's father saved Hans's life in World War I, so Hans is more than willing to return the favor. Hans has sent his application to join the Nazi Party. It was after that he didn't think the hatred could last, and it was a conscious decision not to follow Hitler. On many levels, it was a disastrous one. When Liesel encounters Max, she tells him about her books and how she loves to read. Max takes his copy of Mein Kampf and decides he is going to write her his own book. And so, bleaching out the words to Mein Kampf, he writes 2 personal books to Liesel about his life. This inspires Liesel to write her own book about her life growing up on Himmel Street. Many things surround Himmel Street, and there are many tragedies in the book that Death tells through how he saw it. He'll see Liesel 2 more times, and at these times, he'll start to question how humans can be capable of such disastrous things. This is the story of Liesel growing up in Nazi Germany and everything that she had witnessed. It's about the wrongful deaths of many people. It's about the times when anything such as death can question humans and their morals. In short, it's just a small story, really, about, among other things, a girl, some words, an accordionist, some fanatical Germans, a Jewish fist fighter, and quite a lot of thievery. The author, Markus Zusak, is from Australia and decided to write this story about the things that his parents saw while growing up in Nazi Germany and Austria. He says, when he brought the ideas together, it seemed to work, especially when I thought about the importance of words in that time and what they were able to make people believe and do. Words had a lot of power in this time, and this book captures that idea. Markus Zusak has won many awards for his book, including the Publishers Weekly Best Children's Book of the Year, the Michael L. Prince Honor Book, and being included on the 2009 list of Pacific Northwest Young Readers' Choice Master List. Originally, Markus wrote this book with the idea that it would only be about 100 pages long, but the end result was over 500 pages. Knowing this, I can't see how this story could unravel and be finished in only 100 pages because of the complexity of the idea of humanity and all of the events that took place. This book could be taught during Holocaust Remembrance Week as a supplement reading to the history of the Holocaust and what happened during Nazi Germany. It can also be used to compare, such as the Diary of Anne Frank, and we could use this with videos and historical film clips. We could also use this in an English class if we are integrating with a history class. By working together, students could get a better overall picture of not only the historical events, but how people were affected. This would be a good book also to use to get a discussion going with your class about human rights, equality. If you weren't interested in using this book to supplement the Holocaust or World War II, this would be a great book to put on a list for students to use as a book report. For the book report, you could have students read the book and then create a short presentation as a way to further promote reading in your classroom. This book also deals with a lot of figurative language, such as metaphor, simile, and imagery. This would be a great way to introduce your students to this topic or reinforce these points and let them actively read and recognize when these points come up in a book and how it affects the tone and the storyline. Personification is probably the biggest literary device that we see in the book because Death is the narrator. Naturally, Death can't give us an opinion on what it sees. That is the entire premise of the book. This would also be a great way to introduce a creative writing lesson. By letting the students see this book as an example, they could begin to get ideas on how to write their own short stories and what kind of literary elements they could use and how they could use them. There are many themes you could touch upon in your classroom. The first and most obvious is the value of literature. Liselle learns the value of having a voice and knowing how to read. This is started when her foster father, Hans, teaches her how to read her first book. This was also a way for her to have some control and power in a time where chaos ran free and nobody had an individual say in what they wanted. It was all about Hitler and the Nazi Party. It was also a way for Liselle to escape from her bleak life and to find a way to cope with the things that she saw and experienced. Another theme is guilt. There are many characters in the book that have to do with guilt, one of whom is Max, who stays with the Hubermans. Because he is in hiding, he feels that he is always putting them in danger. The value of words is also a theme that we could take from the book Thief. How Liselle learns that words can cause inner peace when she reads, or it can cause destruction, like reading Mein Kampf and becoming part of an active group to destroy humanity. It's also a way of showing who we are. When Max gives Liselle his books, she is learning about him, and this inspires her to write about herself and to share her life and experiences with others. This is a great way to inspire students to write their own books and share what they know and what they have learned.